Example 5, evaluating powers of I. So you need to memorize this chart. If you notice, every fourth power repeats itself. So I to the first power is just I to the second power is -1, I to the third power is -I, and I to the fourth power is 1. So if you know this column right here, you're going to be able to figure this out. Because notice that it then goes I, -1, -I, 1, I, -1, -I, 1. So if you memorize this, then you will know all of the rest of them, no matter how big the exponent is. So we have to simplify these. So simplify -3i to the 12th. So one way is you can count these until you count to 12. And when it's 12, it's not a big number, it's fine. However, you're going to get to some bigger numbers and it's going to be hard. So we're going to take your power. So take the power and divide it by 4. The reason we do 4 is because every fourth one it repeats. So our power is 12. So 12 divided by 4. 4 goes into 12 3 times. So 3 times 4 is 12. 12 minus 12 is 0, so our remainder is 0. So your first thing you're going to do is take the power and divide it by 4. Then look at the remainder. Look at this R here. Okay? If it has a power of 0, that means that it went into there 4 times. Okay, so if we come back and look at this is, all of these are going to be whatever these are, except for the last one. So this is R of 1, R2, R3, and R. This is the only one that's different because that 4 means it goes in there 4 times, or I mean, not 4 times, but it goes in evenly. So if I ever see a remainder of 0, that means I'm going to have a 1. So I to the 12th power is just 1. So I know I to the 12th power equals 1. So if I break this down, I have -3, so that -3 comes down. This I to the 12th power is just 1, so times 1. So -3 times 1 is -3. So if I had to simplify that, that's how you're going to simplify it. Now if I do I to the 25, same thing. Take your power, so 25, divide it by 4. 4 goes into 25 6 times, so 6 times 4 is 24. 25 minus 24 is 1, so my remainder is 1. So I'm looking at that remainder. And if I come back to my chart, if I have a remainder of 1, it's my I to the first power, which is just I. So I to the 25th power equals I. C. I to the 7th power. So I'm going to take my power, divide it by 4. 4 goes into 7 one time. 1 times 4 is 4. 7 minus 4 makes 3, so my remainder is 3. So I'm looking at my remainder of 3. I'm coming back over here. That is -1. Or -I, sorry. So we have I to the 7 equals -I. So if I have my 1/2 come straight down, and I to the 7 is times a -I. So if I simplify this, -1/2 I, because that negative really should be in the front of the 1/2, front of the number. Now, D, because 42 is bigger, this is when you need to you really should start using your division if you haven't already. So if I come and take 42 divided by 4, 4 goes into 42 4 goes into 4 once. 1 times 4 is 4. 4 minus 4 is 0. So bring down my 2. Okay. 4 goes into 2 no times. So 0 times 4 is 0. Okay, so 2 minus 0 is 2, so my remainder is 2. If I'm looking at a remainder of 2 is a negative 1. So I to the 42 power is just negative 1. Try these two on your own.